Hi guys. Okay. So today's video is going to be on. Hold on. There. Today's video is going to be on the solar plex, or the core of the body. Now, what led me to do this video is that this morning while I was riding on the bus, I was thinking about weightlifting because that's what I do at school. I take it as a class and I do it for fun sometimes after school. So I'll just go in and I'll lift weights and I'm thinking to myself and I'm like, I'm not getting faster. I don't have more agility. I don't have, more of this and that. And I went in and I talked to my teacher and he was like, well, it's all because you're not working your core out the right way, you're not doing your squats, and you're not, focusing in on your core. And I was like, that's something I thought about all day. And so then, after I thought about it all day, I started to think about the spiritual effects of not thinking of the core. So I just want to talk a little bit about that. So the core of the body is basically the center of the body. So let's talk about what that means in the physical aspect. The core of the body controls the equilibrium. It controls how much you're able to move in the lower and upper half of your bodies. It controls breath intake and inhalation and exhalation, which is like your ability to hold in breath and your ability to hold out, and your ability to hold in breath and your ability to release breath, how fast or how slow you can release it and how much you can take in at a time. It also is sort of, what else can I say about it? It's also sort of like this prosperous part of your body because it's located right here, like where some people develop a gut. Talking about the physical aspects, it's all about balance, strength, and it might be about looking good because like when you have abs, you're usually doing a core workout. You're usually working out your core more than the rest of your body, but it's all about strength, balance, and energy. And so the more I thought about that, I was like, then centering is all about pulling your energy into your core. It's literally what it is that you focus on the energy outside of your body and you pull it into your core. And I was thinking about how you do that in strength training when you lift weights. You lift the bar and you focus on your core. You don't elongate your back. You want to make sure that there's a good energy flow through your body so you don't hurt anything. And I was thinking about how that works in magic too. You want to maybe have everything aligned energetically. You might not use like correct posture, but you want to have everything aligned energetically for everything to flow correctly. You want to have your chakras aligned. You want to make sure that you're grounded, which means that you're allowing the energy to flow through your chakra channels and not have them blocked. So what the solar plex, and then that also got me thinking about like the energy flow and what the core of the body does with energy flow. Because when you lift weights, I'm going to be talking about weightlifting a lot because weightlifting inspired this video. When you lift weights, you try to keep your core balanced. And when you do energy work, when you do magic, you try to keep your core balanced. That's a very important thing because if your core isn't balanced in both weightlifting and magic, you kind of you rock a little bit. And when you don't want to rock because if you fall backwards, what do you have? You have this huge metaphoric and possibly, literal weight falling on top of you, and you have to have somebody come and lift it off of you. So, I thought about that today. And then something else I thought about when we're thinking about the core is, the solar plex is the center of your body. If you've ever been hit in the solar plex, you know that like that's the one place that if a person hits you, you can't breathe for a while, your whole body hurts, and then even after you sort of regain your breath, you still have to like gasp a couple of times. And so I was thinking about like when it comes to energy work, when it comes to being hit in the solar plex chakra or having a block in the solar plex chakra, it's a very difficult thing to work with because you sort of blocked energy flow. Because we all know that there are two ways energy flows. Energy of the earth, it flows up the chakra system, it flows from the root chakra to the crown, and the solar plex being in the center of all the chakras basically makes it like makes it like not the avenue, but the I can't figure out what the word I'm looking for. It basically makes it like a bus station. I was going to use a fancy word, but I can't think of one. It basically makes it like the bus station of your chakras. And so, like, if your bus station is, like, all blocked up or it's locked or it's shut down, you know, nothing can get through, which means that you essentially have energy that's just being built up there, just energy waiting to be expanded and released. And I feel like that's a very important thing when it comes to chakra work, energy work. You know, the solar plex is extremely important, because if you're not releasing the energy that's built up in your solar plex, then you have all this untapped potential right then and there. And, you know, the other chakra points are just as important. You need to have your root and your sacral and your solar plex, like we just talked about, and you need to have your throat and your third eye and your crown chakra. All of those need to be opened. But if the solar plex is knotted up and all your other chakras are open, that doesn't do you any good, because there's a flow being blocked in both directions too, because divine energy is channeled down through the crown chakra to the root chakra, which is why in the magical practice we sort of developed the idea of grounding energy, because it travels in a downward motion, whereas manifestation energy, it travels in an upward motion, or earth energy, as it's most commonly called, travels in an upward motion up through the feet, up through the chakra system, and into the divine crown system. I mean, into the divine world, or through the crown. So, essentially, what you've done is you've blocked if your core chakra, if your solar plex chakra isn't unknotted. Essentially, what you've done is you've tied a knot that doesn't allow you to be able to manifest any divine energy, because you can't channel your divine energy down, and you can't manifest your worldly needs, your worldly possessions. You know, let's say you're doing money spells and you're channeling this energy, but you know, you can channel all the energy you want. It's built up there. And so when you finally do the work to unblock this chakra, you will have maybe an overflowing of abundance. And when you think about it, I also relate the solar plex chakra to overabundance, or not overabundance, to being abundant, because the solar plex chakra is in the stomach. And, you know, back in, like, way back, we're in ancient times, you know, if you had a lot of food, you had a lot of money. It was sort of a good thing to be of a bigger size. And that's why I sort of associate the solar plex with money. So sometimes it might even be a physical block of money. Like, if you have your solar plex chakra tied up in knots, you might actually have a block in prosperity in your life. Just like if you have your heart chakra closed, you can't find love. Just like if you have your third eye chakra closed, you can't see the truth. Just like if you have your crown chakra closed, which should never be closed, but just like if you have your crown chakra closed, you can't reach the level of divinity that maybe even most babies can reach. So that was all I had for this video. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this because I was thinking about it all day. And just as a wrap up for this video, I guess, the solar plex, the core, whatever you want to call it, is a very important thing in magic. Basically, think of it as sort of like the solar plex. I mean, the solar plex, the sun center is basically what that means. It means that this is a point of the sun, a point of light. And you can rate. I basically see this as a great light that you can project from yourself. But if it's tied up, you can't project light, you can't project energy, you can't project any of the things I just talked about. So what is really important is that you work out your solar plex, you do your chakra meditations, and, you know, as I said, this is the middle point, you know, the point between both your earthly manifestation and your divine manifestation. So what you need to do is you need to focus here and unblock that topic. That's it for this video. Bye, guys.